Well, I'd like to call the first meeting of the Subcommittee on Finance and Tax to order here on May 7th, 2009. Welcome everybody in attendance, especially our guests, many of which have come a long ways, and I appreciate their efforts to come here and give us a little background on small business tax simplification issues and perhaps some other points that they might want to bring up. Talk to any entrepreneur, and they'll tell you the same thing. Whether it's good times or bad, the tax codes become a huge obstacle to any efficient business. In an effort to untangle that complexity, the current administration has recently launched a bipartisan reform panel. That group will work to overhaul the tax code and ensure it meets current economic standards and demands. For entrepreneurs, this is going to be extremely important, and in its current ever-expanding state, that the state's tax codes, maze of write-offs and regulations restrict small business growth, as does the federal. Whether we're talking about tax dollars or tax complexity, it's an enormous drain on small firms. This should come as no surprise. Over 3.7 million words and over 70,000 pages, the tax code is just a nightmare to navigate. In an average year, individuals and companies spend close to $265 billion just doing their taxes, and small businesses pay the lion's share of that sum. In fact, entrepreneurs spend an estimated $1,304 per employee, roughly twice the amount that big companies pay. In today's hearing, we're going to examine some of these costs and look for ways in which the tax code can be simplified for small businesses. When it comes to tax compliance, mounting expenses are compounded by an element of uncertainty. Many small firms struggle to determine what they owe and what they can write off, just like we do in our daily lives. With the tax code changing at a rate of roughly one alteration a day, it's no wonder entrepreneurs find it very difficult to follow. In the face of daily tinkering, undefined deadlines, expiring provisions, small firms struggle to calculate these long-term budgets. Given this uncertainty, it's next to impossible to even plan for the future. That confusion translates into postponed investments, and without a doubt, fewer new hires. At a time when we are counting on startups to jumpstart our economy, we just can't afford that sort of setback. Tax regulation should not be a stumbling block. For many entrepreneurs, they have the potential to encourage growth. In fact, small firms often make decisions based on the promise of write-offs alone. We could discuss that. For that reason, we need to be sure entrepreneurs are aware of every incentive available to them. Just as importantly, they should know how to take advantage of these provisions. A good example of this is the home office deduction. 52% of entrepreneurs operate out of their homes, yet only a small handful even claim the deduction. To address this disconnect, Representative John McHugh and I introduced the Home Office Deduction Simplification Act. That bill should go a long way, hopefully, to streamline the compliance process for entrepreneurs. Whether it's creating a standard home office deduction or just generally modifying the tax code, there are ways to ease the small business burden. Of course, everyone has an opinion how to make this happen. We'll hear some today. I'm also pleased that our small business representatives, as I said before, from all over the country could join us, from the far west, the far south, and some that are here on a little more regular basis to share their wisdom. So at the very least, hopefully, as a result of this hearing, we'll find out ways to blunt the burden in the short term and set the stage for long-term reform as we go forward. I'd like to recognize Ranking Member Congressman Buchanan for his opening statement now.